First thing I do on this is the background. I do orange down the right side. I left a circle of white where I want the the sun to be. And then I put more white all the way over to the left. I haven't been posting as much because I'm on these weird meds that make me feel like kind of tired. And I don't even want to like take my glasses off right now. So, but I want to share art with you because I've had fun making this painting, these California poppies. It's like my first painting that I invented, like a paint and sip style, so that I could like maybe teach it to other people. Anyways, and it's like so fun. So I'm taking a flat brush, and I'm gonna say when I'm moving paint around, I have massive confidence. So I didn't mean to like say that in a weird way. It's just that the first time you swipe a painting, it's not going to come out exactly how you want. Like I've done it many times, and I've had many ugly paintings to come out to where I finally kind of learned that for me, the best way to do this kind of like circular background is to block each one out. Just give each paintbrush a color. Just make it so easy on yourself. Boom. Obviously, if you mix the blue into anything, it's going to go real dark. So kind of leave that for the end. Look, another flat brush. And I'm going to do the sun. I just got a tiny bit of yellow on my brush to make the sun. I'm going straight white over here, getting paint all the way over the edges. Because if you don't, once it dries, you'll wish you had gone over the edges. It just looks so like not done. And I understand like so to do a gradient, push one color into the other. To get it to go the other direction, push the other color into the other color. I know that may seem obvious, but that's the mentality that I'm going through here. I know that if I push the yellow outward into that blue, it's gonna anyway, you'll see. I hope that's what I do. So here I go. What should I do next? Just getting my brush wet. Like ridiculously wet too. Dripping wet. And now I'm trying to form this kind of tunnel thing. Just got to be bold and go right into the other color and keep blending, keep doing it. For me, I like to try to do this all in one like burst. So I'm not going to try to go back and forth too many times. If I mud it up, I'm going to try to fix it right away. And because I don't want to spend, for me personally, I don't want to spend a million years on this. I want to go very intuitive and push the paint fast and furious. And it feels good to paint like that. Literally pulling the yellow into the orange and then pushing the orange back into the yellow if needed. That's how I'm thinking. I have flat tip brushes, and the tip, if it's flat down here, if this is flat, that's how I'm holding it. You know, I'm not holding it really like this. I'm holding the brush like this. Okay, so it's straight up and down. I'm pushing the paint like whoop, 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 whoop. And then all I'm doing now is smoothing out anything that I think looks too chunked out. I want more of a smoother, I don't know, it's kind of like a train tunnel. It's kind of like painting a train tunnel. Same concept. You gotta like pull some dark in there to really make it feel far away. It's kind of interesting, but you can play around with it. Adding more yellow. That's so funny. I added the yellow paint and then I went back to the blue. But I got all these brushes, so. It's fun when you just have a couple colors and you have a brush for each color. You can really get a painting to go out fast. Not stopping your how your brush strokes are happening, not stopping that feeling like you're playing a violin to go stand up and change your vibe and wash that brush. No, toss it to the side and grab another one. Notice how many brushes I have in that top right side. And I don't care if I use all of them in 1 hour, for real. I think my most I've ever used in an hour is 30 something. I'm not going to stop and wash my brush if I feel like painting and it's coming out, if that makes sense. It's just gotta, like, I gotta focus on what's coming out. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah, that feels good. That yellow and blue making the green is what's been needing, is what was needed. Is what's been needing. Thanks, meds. If you've ever taken meds that made you feel real tired, say hi in the comments, please. I'm finally trying to get back to making art here, and my thoughts have been good. My vibe has been good. It's just I'm used to being a squirrel, and lately I've been more like a slug or a turtle. Optimistic turtle. Now we're on to the petals. I'm going to try to do two-tone flowers, poppies, California poppies. Very abstract version of them, though. All I personally care about is having 4 petals. If there's 4 petals on there, it's a poppy. So I got 2 different shades of orange, 2 different shades of green. This is how I roll all the time with art. If I'm not sure what I always get like a supportive color. Like if I'm going to have orange, I'm going to have a light one and a dark one. If I'm picking green, I'm going to have a dark one and a light one. So it's just how I roll in art. Sometimes I'll even mix white to have that highlight shade too. So here I'm just doing with a really fat filbert that looks like an 8 or 10 or 12, huge. I'm just doing 4 petals, and I'm like sweeping the petals inward getting a lot of paint on there. Press hard, sweep inward, and when you like pull the brush upward, it has this cool effect where you're like, oh, it looks like the inside of a flower, yeah. So poppies have 4 petals. So this is me like playing around with this art. Again, this is my tactic for why bother washing a brush if the art's shooting out. Go with the art. So I got another brush for the darker color. And the rule of art, like the closer things are, the brighter the color is. So the darker orange poppies will kind of by default appear closer at the end of this painting. So if you're looking at a mountain range, you're standing on top of a mountain. The furthest mountains away are like really light gray, and then the closest ones are like dark, you know? So that's, you just can remember it that like that. You're standing on top of a mountain. Furthest ones away are real faint. So you want to make a mountain look far away, make it really faint. Don't faint. Anyways, so welcome to my start to finish painting. This is something I don't do all the time. And I think I'm kind of known more for making weird emotional art, but to do something like this, which is just like a repetitive pattern in a couple different techniques, is super relaxing for my mind. So it'll kind of put me on autopilot where I'm just like, I'm making poppies, and yeah, I feel so like excited anytime it looks like a real flower, even if it doesn't look like a poppy. Still. I've done this painting a couple times since then, and I kind of make the tops a little bit more of like a basket shaped. Anyway, and so I also am doing like one little stroke of dark on a painting, on one of the flowers, and then one little stroke of light because of how sunshine hits flowers. And I really liked how that effect came out in the end. A lot. Alright, and then I'm doing the inside of the flowers with, looks like cadmium red. And a little round brush. And it looks like a cheap one too, like a dollar store round brush. I'm not tripping either, and I'm not making that up. Some of those dollar store packages, I can look at them right away, and I can tell like the 4 in there that are going to last quite a while. Worth the whatever dollar. It seems maybe like a lot of waste, but you can use the other ones for textures and stuff. Desperate times. Sometimes you have to shop at the dollar store for your for your supplies. So all I'm doing is the flowers that I think like the center of the flower is showing. I'm creating a little center there with the red. Just creating a little shadow in there. Making a center. there's 4 petals, so I'm kind of technically I'm like pulling it out like 1, 2, 3, 4 in little tiny strokes. If you want the details. What do I do next? Okay, then I start the vines. All right. This is when I start the, oh my gosh, I always forget this word. Stem. Don't forget this time. Stem. And I have these like fake poppy flowers. I don't even know where they are. They're around here somewhere, but it shows you that like some of them connect like this, how I'm showing you in the video, 1, 2, 3, and it really does make them kind of look more like poppies, even though they're kind of like abstract poppy vibes. Still fun. So do all the stems, all the plant part. Okay, and then this next part, if you have matte medium, this is when you get out your matte medium and you mix it with like 10% green paint, so it's really clear. And then you try to get in those secondary leaves that the poppy has on it, which are kind of like a bundle of 3 with little 3s at the top. So if you start thinking like that, you can kind of crank these paintings out. And me personally, I don't care if it looks like a poppy at the end. I'm psyched on how that sun part looks in the back and how it kind of looks like a tunnel and a beautiful sunshine day. I'm stoked on how the vines and the plant part all looks. The plant parts all look. Bear with me here. Yeah, so earlier this year I got diagnosed with a couple things, so I'm on like medications for a couple of things for the very first time, and it's taken me a long time to acclimate to like what those medications feel like. So that's why I'm wearing the glasses inside. It makes me feel a little bit more comfortable right now talking to you about the art. Yeah, so I get all those done. And then I take this, a very small round brush with some phthalo green that looks like very dark green. So what I'm just doing is creating a tiny little shadow in the middle of the flowers, because there's these little spiky things in there that would create a shadow. So the red is part of the shadow, and then the little swoosh marks of the dark phthalo green or black or whatever you have on hand in there. And then after that, after I get all those centers out, I'm gonna start shading these stems here. And it's really hard to see it on the YouTube, but on the YouTube, it's so hard. But this is the stage where when you're doing it in person, like with yourself, and you just go in and you tap right where you think a shadow would be with the dark green, like right there at the base of the stem, you'll go, oh, it looks so cool. It just instantly makes the flower pop out. It goes boom. It's so cool. And then you can like get bold and go down the stems and really bring out anywhere you think there should be a shadow. Always taking into consideration like which direction the sun is and opposing it. And it kind of gives it this cool depth real quick and easy. Okay, the final stage of this for me was highlight. We got this cool bright sunset in the background, and we're kind of like looking up at these flowers almost. We're like eye level with them, like laying in the dirt. And you know that sunset's gonna hit some of those petals. So I went in there, and sometimes I take into consideration which direction I think the sun is, and other times I just look at the art and I go, it needs a little hit of yellow right there. So it doesn't always have to be scientifically perfect. It can be just pleasing to the eye as well. Take that into consideration when you're just enjoying making these cute little flowers. And we're almost done. Yeah! And then all I did was one last layer of like, so this is what how my mentality goes. It pretty much looks done, but there's paint left on my palette over here, and I don't like wasted paint. So I went back for that really like clear, and I went back and did some X's and stuff for plants so that there was just more stuff going on, because I liked the long stems, but it really needed more stuff going on. I hope I'm not rambling too much and that you can understand what I'm saying. Please comment if you can understand anything I say. Please, just comment. Just start saying stuff. About whatever. It can be about whatever. We'll just have a conversation. Yeah, so this is starting to really feel like a real painting. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun to make, and I hope that you followed along, and I hope that you learned a couple cool things about just making a tweak to a painting and liking it more. Thank you so much for tuning in and commenting 100 to 200 times. Just kidding. And I'll see you again soon, because I got more art coming out. It might be it might be related to medication, so brace yourselves for some honest art to come out, okay? Thanks for staying with me this whole time. I appreciate you so much.